All right, so I'm going to list everything out. I don't really have, there's like no challenges, so I'm just going to make a directory called Bootstrap practice, cd into Bootstrap practice, cd into Bootstrap. Wait, was there actually already a Bootstrap in here? Huh, right there. I'm going to cd up one level and then go into Bootstrap practice. There we go. And in my Bootstrap practice file, I'm going to create an index.html file. I'm going to just open this up into new VS Code window. So if I navigate to Bootstrap, right here, Bootstrap, get bootstrap.com. They are on currently version 5. But what's good about if you're using version 4, most everything still works. So if I click get started, I'm over here and get started under the quick start. The only thing we really need, let's actually, what is this? That's just like a blank. Hold on. There we go. So if I open up my HTML real quick and just to create a boilerplate of HTML, what Bootstrap, the only thing you really need in Bootstrap is this CDN. It's this link to essentially all the Bootstrap CSS. And this link is, if I click on this link and literally just paste it in the browser, you can literally see all the Bootstrap CSS live. So this is all the Bootstrap CSS. And if I look in the URL, this little minifies it. So it's all condensed into like essentially one line. But if I remove the min, you can actually see all the Bootstrap styling, like body, HR tags. So this is literally just all the Bootstrap. It's a really long file. And now since I linked that into here, I have access to most of Bootstrap's, all of Bootstrap styling. In addition to having Bootstrap, like the CSS, Bootstrap also has some JavaScript functionality. So like, for example, when a nav bar collapses and having the nav bar be dynamic, you need JavaScript to do that. So in addition to having the link inside your script tag for where you inject JavaScript, you can also just have a script tag right here that injects Bootstrap's JavaScript. And there's a couple of other ones. So if you decide to go with a separate script solution, here's like another thing that you can add. However, if you really want to Bootstrap provides a starter HTML template. So if you're going to use Bootstrap, I'd probably just use like this. But anyway, so I've got Bootstrap installed. Now let's just create like an H1 tag and you just say intro to Bootstrap. And let's open this, open index.html. And we have intro to Bootstrap. So I'm in Bootstrap's documentation. And if I could come over here down to components, I should have all the different Bootstrap components in here. So for example, like the nav bar. So if I go to, there's navs and tabs, and then there's nav bar. And you can read through some of the documentation or just talk about how it works. But you can literally just kind of find a nav bar and it gives you the code to it, or the HTML. So if I scroll down here, so for example, like this one is kind of cool. So I'm just going to use the very basic, very top one just to keep things simple because this has a lot to it. I'm just gonna copy and paste that. Right here. And I've got navbar, intro to Bootstrap. I'll just say Bootstrap. Now, if I refresh this, notice how I have a nice, decent looking nav bar. Didn't have to do too much. And I also have a form here if I wanted to do it. But say I don't need that form, I can always delete that form. So here's that form. I can delete that. Oh, what just happened? Input. Yeah, I can delete that form. And now I can refresh it. And now that form is gone. So the reason why we need to import JavaScript is because this is what the JavaScript portion of Bootstrap is allowing us to do, as well as if I collapse here, it also allows that capability. But say I don't want home, there's link. So like categories are actually, maybe my category is down here. Do that. Now I can say like categories list, like home, design, kitchen, other. So if I do that, if I refresh, I've got categories here, and then I also have categories home, kitchen, kitchet, etc. There's the nav bar. As Ankur said, there are other things you can do. So there's categories. I'm just gonna I don't know. But let's go, and you can change certain things in Bootstrap. So like the color of this is gray, but maybe I want it to be dark. So the nav bar, I want it to be dark. I want the background to be dark as well. Now it changes the design of it. Or maybe I want the background to be green. So green, I think, is success. There we go. Or what was it? Info, because I kind of like that color. It's like a teal color. But let's just keep it dark for now. Let's get rid of that disable because I don't want that. So now we've got different nav bar. Let's look at what other type of components that they have. I think Ankur mentioned this card. So it looks like we have different types of cards we can use. Just use this one. Where is it? So I'm down here. Underneath the nav, I'm just going to create a card. If I refresh there, I have a card right there, but I don't like how it's like right up against that. So I might want to add some margin to that card. And you can add margin, I think it's like MX5. I think that's like margin all the way around. Okay, it's maybe is it just M5 margin all the way around?
So for this, do you want us to, oh, it was going, okay. Can we do CSS within our HTML file, or do you want us to keep it separate?
So do CSS within your HTML file?
Yes, just want like two separate files.
Yeah, we'd prefer to have two separate files. One for, so yeah, like I'd have like a separate styles.css file here as well, because you can add multiple CSS files inside of your HTML.
Yep. And same goes for your JavaScript. So again, you can have everything in your HTML file, JavaScript, CSS, but that's usually poor organization. And yeah, we want you to kind of extract those three pieces out. So you have your HTML structure in one file, CSS design another, and JS logic another.
Yep.
Great.
Kitchen image. So I'm literally just looking for an image of a kitchen. Copy image address. Let's see if this actually works. There we go. So cool. I've got a kitchen. Maybe I don't want kitchen text. If I refresh, and if I click there, maybe it goes somewhere, but I can also create multiple ones of these. So multiple. Uh-oh, I don't like how that's done. Is there a way I can make it so I don't like these on top of one another? So that's where you'd go to like a layout. Let's see, columns. I'd have to look into this. I haven't done this before. So it'd be like container. Grid. I'm just gonna maybe just move each one of these. It's probably a better way to do this. All right. I'm just gonna get rid of that. Let's just see if this is actually all next to one another now. There we go. So it looks a little bit better. What else did you want to see?
Oh yeah, I just needed to know like how to get started on Bootstrap.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, the rest of it, again, a lot of it's, as we mentioned before, reading documentation. So yeah, getting started, hopefully you can get up and running, but then the rest of it's going to be just reading documentation, how to manipulate whatever you're trying to do to get it to look the right way.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, guys. I'm going to get started.